All right, let's dive into this. We're taking a look at Wallo. Wallo, $267 million worth of game.
Yeah. Yeah.
This interview you guys sent in from Club Shay. Shay is fascinating. It's all about his business journey, how he went from street smarts to just crushing it in the business world.
Yeah, he was ahead of the curve, I think. Even before most people understood social media. Back in, what was it, 2012?
Yeah.
He was already building that online following. And that foundation is crucial, right? That early audience.
It's like he had this instinct for where the attention was going.
Exactly.
But it's not just about being in the right place at the right time. This guy actively looked for opportunities.
Absolutely.
He got the idea for $1 million worth of game, believe it or not, from a news article.
Really?
Yeah, about Spotify. Investing big money in podcasts.
Makes sense. I mean, he sees that and you can just tell the wheels start turning.
And he didn't waste any time.
Yeah, he got the logo, the trademark, the LLC, all in one afternoon.
Whoa, that's some serious hustle. Most people would just, celebrate the idea. But he went straight into protecting it.
It shows you he understood the value of their brand, their ideas, from day one.
Smart move, right? Because you see so many people who have great ideas but don't protect them, and then someone else comes along and
Exactly, yeah.
Hey.
And they're left with nothing.
Speaking of, let's talk about their first sponsorship deal. It's a pretty wild story. They got a sponsorship, wait for it.
Okay.
At a funeral home.
A funeral home?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wally talks about how he saw a captive audience there, right? People going through a tough time. And he pitched the funeral home on reaching that audience through their podcast.
That's bold, man. Not everyone would have the guts to do that.
But it paid off.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
The funeral home ended up with more business than they could handle.
Sometimes those unconventional approaches, they really do work.
Absolutely. And this is all before they got their big break.
Right.
Which brings us to, the phone call that changed everything.
Oh, yeah. The call from Courtney Holt, who was running Spotify at the time.
And this was before. Spotify was the podcasting giant it is now.
Right. Totally different landscape back then.
And this call just came out of nowhere.
Completely unexpected, yeah.
Oh.
Wallace said he was sweating bullets during that conversation.
I can imagine. But this is where their organic growth, their authentic content, it all paid off.
Absolutely. They tapped into something real, something culturally significant. And Spotify saw that.
It's a classic underdog story. But they didn't jump at the first big offer, did they?
Nope. They had offers from all the major platforms, including Spotify. But they ended up partnering with Barstool Sports.
Interesting choice. Why Barstool?
Well, I think they wanted creative control.
Right. They built their brand on being unfiltered.
Exactly.
But even with that great deal, Wallo admits he made a rookie mistake during those negotiations.
What was that?
He set their initial asking price way too low.
Classic mistake. Underestimating your own value.
Yeah, and their story with Barstool takes another turn after that.
What happened?
When it came time to renegotiate their contract, their first offer was a cool $25 million?
Yeah.
That's more than 8 times their initial deal.
Crazy, right? But it gets even wilder. Barstool also offered them a blank check.
Whoa, wait. So they could have asked for anything.
Literally any amount.
And they still chose to stay.
Yep.
Why walk away from a potential fortune?
It tells you a lot about their values. Loyalty, a supportive environment. They found something more important than just money.
It's like they were building a family, not just a business.
Exactly.
And speaking of building, I was really impressed by Wallo's dedication to learning.
Oh, yeah. He spent a whole week at the Barstool office.
Immersing himself, soaking it all up.
He was like a sponge, absorbing everything he could.
What exactly was he learning during that time?
The ins and outs of the media business,
Yeah.
Content creation, marketing, the financial side. He was learning from the best.
Like a masterclass in media entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
It shows his commitment to growth. Even with all his success, he knew he still had things to learn.
That's a valuable lesson right there. Always be a student.
Right. And it's clear he's thinking long term. Wallo talked about how they want to maintain creative control.
And ownership of their intellectual property.
Yeah, setting themselves up for the future.
Smart move. That independence is crucial.
So their story, it resonates with so many people out there, trying to build something of their own.
Absolutely.
What are some key takeaways from Wallo's journey?
Well, first off, success isn't just about luck or talent. It's about hustle, adaptability.
And the willingness to learn.
Exactly. It's about recognizing opportunities, taking calculated risks.
Staying true to your vision.
Right. And it's also about understanding your worth.
Yeah. Wallo admitted he undersold himself in that first deal.
It happens to the best of us. Knowing your value and negotiating for it, that's crucial.
Absolutely. But beyond the business lessons, there's something deeper here.
What do you mean?
The power of authenticity, genuine connection.
Right, Wallo and Gillie built their success by being real, speaking their truth.
Connecting with their audience on a personal level.
And it goes beyond just their audience. Look at how they prioritize loyalty.
Over potentially bigger payouts.
They chose Barstool, even when other tempting offers were on the table.
They found a place where they felt like they belonged.
That sense of community, shared purpose, it's powerful.
So, as we wrap up this part of the deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listeners to remember?
I'd say success isn't a one-size-fits-all formula. There's no magic bullet.
You have to find your own path.
Exactly. Leverage your strengths, stay true to yourself.
Wallo's story shows. With hustle, heart, and a willingness to learn, you can achieve amazing things.
And don't forget the power of genuine connections.
Right, those relationships matter.
Now, before we move on, there's one more point I think is worth exploring. Wallo's story, it really makes you think, if someone with his background can build a platform like that and negotiate those kinds of deals, what's that say about the opportunities out there today?
It's like, the old rules don't apply anymore. You don't need the fancy degree. Or the connections.
Yeah, the barriers to entry. They seem lower than ever before.
What you need is a unique perspective, a strong work ethic, and that ability to really connect with your audience.
Authenticity is key.
And think about the tools we have now.
Right. It's easier than ever to create and share content.
Wallo started with social media, then transitioned to podcasting.
Each platform helped him expand his reach.
It's inspiring, isn't it?
Definitely. Anyone with a good idea and the drive to make it happen, they could potentially reach a global audience.
But it's not just about having a good idea.
Now you have to be adaptable.
The media landscape is constantly changing.
You got to stay ahead of the curve.
Speaking of curves, who would have thought a funeral home sponsorship would work?
Yeah, that was a brilliant move.
It shows Wallo's creativity.
And his willingness to try something different.
So, for our listeners out there who might be feeling a little overwhelmed by the whole media and entrepreneurship thing, what's the one piece of advice you'd give them?
Don't be afraid to start. Just take that first step.
Create, build, connect.
Don't let fear hold you back.
Wallo's story proves that. With hustle and belief in yourself.
You can achieve anything.
And it's not always going to be easy. There will be setbacks.
Challenges along the way.
But it's about learning from those experiences and keeping moving forward.
Remember, it's not just about the numbers. It's about building genuine connections, making a positive impact.
That's the real takeaway here. So as you go about your day, remember Wallo's story.
Hustle, adapt, connect.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the next one. To shake things up, create something truly amazing.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.
We'll see you next time.